Back in Charlotte as Cam Newton gets ready for his 8th NFL start. It's the Vikings and the Panthers on a 58-degree Sunday afternoon in Charlotte. Sunny skies. Leslie Frazier in his first full season as Vikings head coach. He and his counterpart, Ron Rivera, very good friends, former teammates in Chicago, former colleagues in Philadelphia, and they speak to each other all the time.
And it's been a tough season for both of these coaches. They've been close a number of times. They both sit, 1-6 for Minnesota, 2-5 for Carolina. They've got to break through that point where they start finding a way to win these close games. Leslie Frazier said, I just keep harping on the positives. Last week versus Green Bay, they got to Aaron Rodgers 4 times. They ran the ball for 175 yards with just Adrian Peterson. They find their rookie quarterback. He goes out and plays well on a big stage in an important game. So you continue to stress the positives for the Carolina Panthers. Obviously, Cam Newton's had a great year. And the difference in the offense, we saw them last year, Kenny, in the opener. And really, he's the only new person on this offense. And it's amazing what he has done. His personality, his style. Rob Chudzinski, the offensive coordinator, it's a very aggressive style of offense. Let me tell you what, this Minnesota defense is going to have their hands full because Carolina throws a number of things at you.
The Minnesota Vikings have won the toss and will receive. Olindo Barre will get things started. Marcus Sherrills back deep for the Vikings. We are underway in Charlotte. Sherrills from 5 yards deep. Out across the 30. Marcus Sherrills into Panthers territory. And he is finally forced out of bounds after a big return. He took it 5 yards deep in the end zone and brought it back 78 yards.
If you're going to come down and attack this wedge, you've got to come in and attack it. You can't run a bubble around it. Watch this bubble right here. He's going to leak to the outside. That's the lane that the ball comes right through with Marcus Sherrills. When you leave your lane at that point in your coverage, you are asking for a big return.
So Christian Ponder and the Vikings start from the Carolina 27-yard line. And off on first down to Adrian Peterson, tries to bounce it to the outside. Dan Connor right there to make the tackle along with Omar Gaither.
And that's what they're going to do. They're going to try to establish Adrian Peterson against this Carolina defense. They're 29th in the NFL in rushing, and then everything will feed off of that. We talked about Christian Ponder being a little bit more aggressive with his decision-making. If you have to commit 8 people to the box to stop Adrian Peterson, Christian Ponder is going to have a lot of opportunities down the field.
Ponder's numbers last week in his first career start against the Green Bay Packers. On second down, off the play fake. That pass was deflected by Greg Hardy. Percy Harvin, the intended receiver.
A lot of youth in this Carolina defense, and you'll see it right here on the front line with a couple of rookies starting inside. They lost John Beeson. They've lost Thomas Davis, so they're young. They're going to fly to the football. They're going to be very aggressive, but they will make mistakes. They will have breakdowns from time to time. We'll see if Minnesota can take advantage of those.
Empty backfield, third down and 10 for Ponder and the Vikings. Ponder could not find anyone downfield, and he is chased down back at the 28-yard line by Terrell McClain, the rookie out of South Florida.
Good job by this young defense putting a tough spot with that big kickoff return. They come out, and they're going to force a field goal attempt. Christian Ponder, we saw his athleticism last week, but here's that relentless defense that we talked about with Carolina. They're young, they're full of energy, they're going to run. So it's going to be fun to watch this matchup today.
Here's Ryan Longwell from the right hash, 45-yard attempt. And Longwell's kick is no good, wide to the left. So following the 78-yard return of the opening kickoff by Marcus Sherrills, the Minnesota Vikings come away with nothing. From the spot of the kick, Newton looks down, he's hit, he loses the football, and it is recovered by Jared Allen.
Bringing that pressure early, Darryl.
I tell you, what a crazy start to this game.
Really surprised Cam Newton here. He gets the snap, Jared Allen up on the top there, but he never steps up into the pocket. Great push up in the middle. Then a great strip right there, getting the ball out. Jared Allen jumps on it.
But again, Tony, this is the thing that impresses me about Cam Newton. He's just not pulling that ball down and taking off. Now, he's got to have a little bit better ball security in that pocket as things start to break down. Get two hands on the football, but you can see him slide, and he's looking downfield. He's not just going to tuck that ball and take off.
E.J. Henderson, the sack, the forced fumble, recovered by Allen. So the Vikings get it right back from the Panthers' 16-yard line. This is Percy Harvin who takes the handoff. And Harvin gains 6 down to the 10.
That's what Minnesota needs to do. That last series, they get the big kickoff return. They only ran Adrian Peterson one time, only ran the ball one time in that first series. That's the weakness of Carolina right now. Try to take advantage of that. Try and create doubt that they're not going to be able to stop the run.
On 2nd and 4, again, it's Harvin. And Percy Harvin takes it in for a Vikings touchdown.
Not Adrian Peterson, but Percy Harvin in the running game on this drive.
Kyle Rudolph also does a nice job, number 82 in the backfield, a lead blocking for Percy. Not something we expected here in this game, huh, Darryl?
Not at all. Not at all.
90 and 40.
Second career rushing touchdown for Harvin. Longwell adds the extra point. So the Vikings capitalize following the Carolina turnover. Minnesota leads 7-0. Back in Charlotte, Percy Harvin, 10-yard touchdown run just 2 plays after the sack, forced fumble by E.J. Henderson, recovered by that man, Jared Allen. Vikings lead 7-0.
A couple of big plays to start this game this afternoon.
Polaris on the return for the Panthers. And he loses the football. Panthers recover. It was bouncing around for a while, and it is signaled Carolina football.
Well, that's been one of the big differences with Carolina this year. Their 5 losses, they've got turnovers. In their 2 victories, they haven't turned the ball over. To go back-to-back, I mean, when you have that touchdown and then you fumble that kickoff right back. Very, very fortunate here for Carolina.
The Panthers, who turned it over on their first play from scrimmage, start from their own 19-yard line. Jonathan Stewart out to the 22, gain of 3.
Let's go back to the touchdown. You know, the defense is wondering, where is Adrian Peterson? But in the backfield right here, you have Percy Harvin and Kyle Rudolph, who's going to be your lead blocker. Watch him, opens the crease, and there goes Percy Harvin right up the middle. You know, me and Darryl were talking during break, and we're wondering, where's Adrian Peterson? I think that's exactly what this Carolina defense is looking, because they've worked against him all week and keying on him.
Peterson, the NFL's leading rusher, goes on 2nd and 7. Newton under pressure, moving to his right. Now he throws, and Jeremy Shockey picks up a Carolina first down, but there is a flag. Ed Hockley, our referee today.
Pass interference, offense, number 80. It was a push-off. 10-yard penalty. Repeat 2nd down.
Tough start for the Carolina Panthers. Lots of mistakes to start this football game. You cannot play this way. Chad Greenway, number 52, turned loose right to Cam Newton. That's a nice job right there, feeling that, sliding out, throwing on the run. And here's Jeremy Shockey. Keep your eye on him. You know, he's got as much right to that piece of real estate as Jamarcus Sanford. You know, you're coming out there. That looked like incidental contact, in my opinion. I don't know if I'd have thrown that one. It wasn't a real big shove. They just got tangled up a little bit.
Second down and 17 following the penalty. 3 wide receivers set. Newton faked the handoff to Stewart, and he hits the tight end Greg Olsen out at the 27-yard line. 15-yard pass play.
And that's going to invite those linebackers to step up because they've got to defend that run, and then it's a quick pass right into that vacated area.
Getting those tight ends involved real early in Olsen and Jeremy Shockey.
As you mentioned earlier, Goose, Olsen and Shockey with a combined 48 receptions over the first 7 games.
Those two can block also. Not just receivers out there.
Third down and 2. Here's Stewart. And Jonathan Stewart picks up a Carolina first down out to the 33-yard line.
Well, we've gotten a look at what Carolina will challenge you with in this offense. Now, it's a vertically based passing game. They're going to be aggressive down the field. That's why Steve Smith is having such a great season. But they're going to throw some power runs at you. The 2 tight ends that Tony talked about. You've got read keep with Cam Newton. You've got true option with Cam Newton. So this Minnesota defense is going to have to be on their toes all afternoon.
There's Smith, who leads the league in receiving yards. Newton averaging 300 yards through the air per game. Panthers keep it on the ground with Stewart. And Jonathan Stewart is bottled up. E.J. Henderson, first Viking, in on the tackle.
And at some point, this vertical passing attack is going to try and get down the field. Their concern is controlling the front. These 4 guys right here, the linebackers do a nice job with their blitz package, getting Brian Robinson and Jared Allen matched up in one-on-ones. But Antoine Winfield is not playing again today. That's a big hit to this defense. Chris Cook is out again, so you've got a thin secondary for the Vikings. They did a good job against Green Bay and Aaron Rodgers last week, and they've got another tall order this afternoon.
Asher Allen starts for Antoine Winfield, missing his 4th straight game. Newton with time on 2nd and 10. And the pass was batted down. It was intended for Shockey. So the Panthers now facing a 3rd and 10 as Allen got a piece of that pass.
That offensive line does a great job, and Jared Allen drops back a little bit, gets his hands up, reads the eyes of Cam Newton, and deflects the ball. That's a huge play right there. That's a pass breakup, gives your secondary a little bit of confidence. You have an opportunity to go when you get a tip ball like that to get some interceptions. So that's a heads-up play by Jared Allen.
Now 3rd down and 10. Panthers must get to the 43 for a first down. Newton moves to his right, and he will take off. Cam Newton has a first down and more as he slides down at the 48-yard line. He needed 10, and he gained 14.
Here's that blitz package we talked about, and not so much as getting your linebackers or your secondary to the quarterback, but look at Chad Greenway coming in the pressure. What that does, that creates the one-on-one for Jared Allen, for Brian Robinson. And now you've got Cam Newton. Now you got to account for Cam Newton getting out on the edge with his athleticism, but that's that blitz package. It's a nice design by the Minnesota Vikings.
2nd in rushing yards on quarterbacks, trailing only Michael Vick. 1st and 10 from the 48 as Newton swings it out, and it is taken into Vikings territory by Steve Smith, who gained 7.
And what a difference for Steve Smith this year. He was so frustrated last year, and this Carolina offense really struggled to find any type of rhythm during the course of the season last year, but he has just exploded this year. He's passed his marks from a full season at the 7-week point in several big categories.
And he has had some huge games here at home against the Vikings throughout his career. 2nd down and 3. Newton's pass is caught for another Carolina first down by Greg Olsen.
And it's funny because Cam Newton told us that he enjoys driving down the field methodically, 10 plays, 12 plays, 15 plays, and really kind of taking the heart out of the defense as opposed to hitting them with those big explosive splash plays on the outside to Steve Smith. They're in that rhythm right now, really controlling the tempo, making some nice quick decisions at the quarterback spot.
Olsen gained 11. D'Angelo Williams in the backfield. From the Minnesota 34, off the play fake. Good block by Williams, allowing Newton to fire downfield. Intended for Steve Smith with Asher Allen on the coverage.
You're right, Kenny. That was a really nice block by D'Angelo Williams. And it's hard. People don't understand how hard it is off the run fake to then get yourself in a position to take on that blitzing linebacker. It's going to be Chad Greenway, number 52. Watch, there's a play fake. He bypasses the fake. That's the thing. For all you young running backs, you know, we've got a play fake here. But if you've got your man coming in pressure, you've got to drop that fake, get yourself into a good pass blocking position. Exactly what D'Angelo Williams did on that play.
Now 2nd and 10, 2 tight end set. On the Vikings 34, the toss to Williams. And D'Angelo Williams gains a couple down to the 32-yard line. Hussein Abdullah made the tackle, so the Panthers now facing a 3rd down and 8.
And they're going to try to use D'Angelo Williams' speed to get on this edge. They'll get Jonathan Stewart up in there and bang the insides, try and see if they can get some yardage between the tackles. But look for him with D'Angelo Williams on the edge. You've got undersized, athletic defensive ends for the Minnesota Vikings in Jared Allen and Brian Robinson. So look for Carolina to try and get that speed on that corner.
Panthers 2 for 2 on 3rd down on this drive. 3rd down and 8. They must get to the 24. Newton fires. There's a flag. Pass was incomplete, intended for Smith. A flag back at the 44-yard line.
Holding, offense, number 77. 10-yard penalty, repeat 3rd down.
Right tackle Byron Bell.
I think Byron got beat on an inside move. He worked really well trying to hold on. As Brian Robinson does a little spin right there. He tries to get that arm, hooked him a little bit.
Leslie Frazier accepts the penalty, forcing the Panthers back to the 42-yard line. 3rd down and 18.
Interesting decision with this explosive Carolina offense. Might wanted to decline that and see if they wanted to take a long field goal attempt.
It would have been a 49-yard attempt. Instead, 3rd down and 18. And the Panthers now out of field goal range, and that pass through the hands of Jonathan Stewart. So the decision pays off for Leslie Frazier. Panthers forced to punt.
As explosive as this offense is and all the weapons they've got on the outside, a little bit of a risky decision right there by Leslie Frazier, but it pays off.
Talked about Cam Newton and those long drives, an 11-play drive for Carolina, but they come away with nothing. Mason Baker back at his own 45-yard line. Marcus Sherrills had that 78-yard kickoff return. Back deep for the Vikings. Sherrills lets it go. So the Vikings pinned deep in their own territory here in Charlotte, leading the Panthers by 7. There's Adrian Peterson, who was not on the field when Percy Harvin scored the game's first touchdown.
I think Bill Musgrave is kind of looking to see what kind of defense Carolina is going to play when Adrian is on the field. They put Toby Gerhardt in, split him out wide, and then put Percy Harvin back as the running back. I think they're getting a different look with Adrian in there than they are when they have Toby Gerhardt. So they're expecting more passes. They might not be committing that eighth man to the box.
3 wide receiver set for the Vikings. They start from their own 11. Vikings started their previous 2 drives in Carolina Panthers territory. Adrian Peterson, 2nd carry today, and he is bottled up. Thomas Williams with the initial wrap-up of Peterson.
They just beat the blocks immediately on this play. Thomas Williams does a great job shooting the gap. R.J. Stanford there to help out on the edge, but great vision, great decision to get through all that maze of players at the line of scrimmage.
He does a nice job of seeing old Thomas Williams and just coming right through it, beat Adrian Peterson in it.
Loss of 5 on the play, Goose. Now 2nd down at 15. Off the play fake. Ponder chased by Hardy in the end zone. Pass incomplete, intended for Devin. Aroma should do as we check in for the first time today with Kurt Menefee. Kurt?
Well, the Miami Dolphins still looking for their first win, taking on the Giants today on the road, and Steve Slayton, only his 2nd game as a Dolphin, puts them on top. 7-0. Tony Sperano and company thinking, could today be the day? Can he move some Goose?
Thanks, Kurt. Good to see all the snow cleared off the field at the Meadowlands.
Looks like you might have to shovel when you get home, Tony. Looks like it's melting.
Yeah, I'm going to have to shove. I'm really surprised Miami, showing up there, getting a touchdown on the Giants and all that weather up there. It's beautiful down in Miami right now.
Big snowstorm yesterday in the New York area. Shovel pass on 3rd down and 15. And Adrian Peterson picks up a first down all the way out to the 28-yard line on 3rd and 15. Peterson gains 22.
And the thing that I want you to watch is how physical Adrian Peterson is at the end of this run. So they're going to invite the defensive line to come up the field. Little flip right there. And now he just hits it north and south, and watch the finish. And this is one of the things that his teammates talked about last week against Green Bay. They said he was running as physical as if they have seen him during the course of the season.
Some breathing room for the Vikings from the 28. Ponders pass out to the 41-yard line is caught. Nice catch by Percy Harvin, who was questionable throughout the week due to the rib injury, and Harvin, who has the game's only touchdown, picks up another Vikings first.
Nice throw by Christian Ponder right there. And again, we're seeing a little bit of a cat and mouse here, with the personnel, what they're doing based on what Adrian Peterson is and the set. That time into the shotgun with a single back, they're going to bring pressure, expecting the pass.
Harvin gains 13 now from the 41. The end around, Harvin. And he's tackled by Antoine Applewhite. No gain on the play.
Boy, they're pulling out all the tricks, Darryl. Everybody's keen on Adrian Peterson in the backfield, and Percy Harvin tries to come around.
This is a nice job by Antoine Applewhite, because I thought Percy Harvin had stretched him far enough and was getting back to the inside. Some strong hands right there.
Percy Harvin, a big part of the Vikings offense here in the first quarter. Minnesota leads 7-0. Number 41 on second down. Here's Peterson. Peterson gains a couple. Andre Nevlin in on the tackle for Carolina.
Well, they're doing a good job so far with this Carolina defense against the run. And one of the concerns is that linebacker level. We saw it on Percy Harvin's touchdown, kind of get caught in that flow, moving horizontal. But since that time, they've been playing this a lot more downhill.
3rd down and 8. 3 wide receivers set. Ponder being chased by Captain Munnerlyn. He brings him down back at the 40-yard line.
Defensive coordinator Sean McDermott doing a really nice job with his blitz package right now, getting some guys turned loose onto the quarterbacks. There goes Captain Munnerlyn. Nice tight corner. Able to run down Christian Ponder as he's moving to his right. Good job with the swipe right there. Strong hands by Christian Ponder so he doesn't fumble the ball.
Second sack for Munnerlyn this season. Chris Cluey punting for the first time. Monty Edwards back at the 5. And a return of only 5 yards. Ryan D'Imperio made the tackle. 54-yard punt. Cam Newton and the Panthers back out on offense. Vikings offensive coordinator Bill Musgrave on the right with Christian Ponder and Donovan McNabb, who started the first 6 games for the Vikings.
And he's going to be a great asset to Christian Ponder as they move through the season. He'll give him all the knowledge that he knows in all these different situations. He's seen it all throughout his career.
Worst starting field position of the game for Carolina. Jonathan Stewart. Stewart gains 6 out to the 16-yard line. Chad Greenway made the tackle.
And a combination of special teams, breakdowns, and turnovers, and all of a sudden you find yourself on those long fields all afternoon. And field position is a big part as you're trying to establish your rhythm during the first part of the game.
Panthers turned the ball over on their first play from scrimmage. That led to the Minnesota touchdown. Then an 11-play drive by the Panthers. But they came away with no points. Scored again, close to a Panthers first down.
Well, we're going to talk about Cam Newton. We're going to talk about Steve Smith. They've got great running backs in Jonathan Stewart and D'Angelo Williams. And one of the guys that really jumps out to me is Legadou Nane, number 17 right here. They ask him to do so much dirty work. I mean, he motions in, he blocks at the point of attack as a wide receiver, not just backside cutoffs and some of the counter plays and different things, but Legadoud Nane will actually get right in there into the box, and he'll be your lead blocker at the point of attack sometimes.
Head coach Ron Rivera knew him very well. Spent the last 4 years in San Diego, where Rivera was the defensive coordinator. First and 10 from the 21-yard line. Newton with loads of time, and the pass is caught out across the 40 by Steve Smith. A 20-yard pass play, another Panthers first down.
Well, this was a quick release by Cam Newton. The pressure's starting to get to him, and when he makes his decision to throw this to Steve Smith, it comes off his hand quick.
Like you talked about earlier, Darryl, Cam Newton sitting in the pocket, not being frustrated, knowing the pressure's coming a little bit. Sits there and makes a great throw to Steve Smith.
And Newton, as you know, Goose, leads the league in passes of at least 20 yards. Now some trickery from the Panthers. Another Carolina first down on the toss to Smith, and a late flag is thrown.
That was one heck of a stiff arm by Steve Smith on Cedric Griffin. I wonder who's going to get the flag. I think Cedric Griffin got up. He was a little upset. I'll tell you what, Steve Smith, I haven't seen a better stiff arm in a long time, Darryl.
Pound for pound, Goose. He's one of the tougher guys in the NFL.
That was nice.
Personal foul, face mask, defense number 23. 15-yard penalty from the end of the run. First down.
So Smith gained 12, tack on another 15. Here's Griffin.
There's that stiff arm that Tony was talking about.
I didn't see it.
Yeah, I think he had the inside of the shoulder pad, not the face mask, but you know, it's the head pulled down.
Well, he's lucky on that stiff arm to get anything, Cedric Griffin.
Time winding down in this first quarter here in Charlotte. Vikings lead 7-0. First and 10 from the Minnesota 33-yard line. D'Angelo Williams. Another Carolina first down. Williams takes it inside the 21-yard line. Gain of 13, and that will do it for the first quarter here in Charlotte. With the Panthers on the move, they started this drive back at their own 10-yard line. Trailing the Vikings 7-0 after one. Fox NFL Sunday will return after these messages from your local Fox station. Back in Charlotte, Kenny Albert, Darryl Johnston, Tony Siragusa. We begin the second quarter with the Minnesota Vikings leading the Carolina Panthers 7-0. Panthers on the move. First and 10 from the Vikings 21. Both Williams and Stewart in the backfield. Now Williams split out to the right. And Newton hands it off to Stewart. He bounces it to the outside. Inside the 15, the 10, there is a flag. As Stewart is finally tackled at the 3-yard line, but a flag back at the 17.
Jonathan Stewart just came up and patted D'Angelo Williams on the back for the block downfield, but it might be holding.
Holding, offense number 17.
No.
10-yard penalty for the spot of the foul. First down.
It's on Legadoud Nane.
I'll give him a hall pass. He works hard out there. He's in his slot right here. Comes down inside on the crack. Just got to know. You know what? I don't like that call. They catch a guy going to the ground out of the corner of their eye, and they just automatically assume it's a hold. That was a nice block by Legadoud Nane.
Really nice.
I did not see a hold.
Hands inside, stayed with it. Too good of a block, maybe. Then he brought him down to the ground, like you said, Darryl. That's what they're going to make the call.
Now first and 16 following the penalty. Newton fires downfield, and Steve Smith wrestles it away from Asher Allen for a Panthers touchdown. A spectacular catch.
This was just an element that was completely missing from Carolina's offense last year, and everybody we talked to talked about the aggressive style that they play. This is pretty good coverage by Asher Allen. Cam Newton throws it up, puts it on the back shoulder to Steve Smith. Every single offensive player that we have talked to for the Carolina Panthers loves the aggressive style that Rob Chudzinski has brought to this offense.
Now remember, every scoring play is reviewed. It was ruled a touchdown, but Steve Smith may have been down before the ball crossed the plane, so Ed Hockley will take a look.
His hip was definitely down.
Ruled a touchdown on the field. And every scoring play this season automatically reviewed.
Take a look at it. Watch his hip right here. His left hip hits down, touched by the player. The ball is on the 1 yard line, just inside. I think that's where they're going to respot the ball. And Dal, you also talked about the explosiveness. They had a great, I'll tell you what, that offensive line did a great job of giving Cam Newton time with the blitz coming from the Minnesota Vikings.
The pass was complete, although the runner was down on the 1 yard line. The ball will be placed on the 1 yard line, 1st and goal. There are no timeouts charged, and the clock stays where it is.
We all agree with that ruling from Ed Hockley, so it's a 26-yard reception for Smith, 1st and goal on the Minnesota 1.
And the important thing about getting these plays correct down by the goal line, and Tony and I talk about this quite often, is it's not easy to score from this spot of the field. I mean, a lot of people look at this and go, it's just a matter of time, they're going to punch it in on the next play. I mean, so many times during the course of the season, we see teams start 1st and goal at the 1, end up kicking field goals.
Yeah, there's only so much room down there in the end zone that you can run so many plays.
3 tight ends for Carolina. 1st and goal from the 1. And Jonathan Stewart unable to get in.
And when you have the type of athletes and the type of offense that Carolina runs with so many diverse weapons and so many things that the defense has to guard against, you know, down here, this is an opportunity to really stress Minnesota's defense and get the personnel on the field that they've got to worry about a number of different things.
No personnel changes for Carolina. 2nd and goal.
Especially with those 2 tight ends, Darryl. You can be offensive lineman if you need them, or you can bring them out into the pattern. Throw the ball to him.
Newton takes the handoff to Stewart. Moving to his right. Now throws to the end zone. There it is, Goose. Touchdown, Jeremy Shockey.
It's a good field by Jeremy Shockey because he's going to be going to the corner. It's one of the traditional routes you'll see out of the offense. Fullback flat, tight end, Jeremy Shockey, top of your screen, going to the corner, contact, Chad Greenway. Watch the field right here. Just a little step back inside. He's got his eyes on Cam Newton. Chad Greenway has got his back to Cam Newton. If you can create that situation, great opportunity for just a little pitch and catch for a touchdown.
He does a nice job of selling the blocking right off the line of scrimmage and then moving into his route.
And there is a penalty flag. A late flag has been thrown following the touchdown in the end zone.
There was no foul on the play for unsportsmanlike conduct.
So the flag will be picked up. First touchdown as a Panther for Shockey, the former New York Giant and New Orleans Saint. Olindo Mare out for the extra point. Mare ties the game at 7. 90-yard drive, longest of the season for Carolina. Shockey scores the touchdown. Newton makes a young fan very happy. 90th consecutive sellout here in Charlotte. Fans excited as the Panthers tie the game on their longest drive of the season.
Exactly what Cam Newton told us on Friday afternoon. He really enjoys those long, methodical drives, kind of take the heart out of that defense. There's a nice one right there, 9 plays, 90 yards.
And the touchback, Vikings will start from the 20. Christian Ponder, the first-round pick, 12th overall out of Florida State, leading the Vikings offense back out onto the field. His second start.
And a lot of people talk about the speed of the game when a young quarterback comes into the NFL, and they always want to talk about the speed of the game. And I thought that Christian Ponder made a really good point about it. He said it's not that the game moves faster, it's the processing of everything. You know, our offense is a little bit more complex than they had at Florida State. The defenses are more difficult. So processing all that in the short amount of time.
Play action on first down. Pass was Batted down by James Anderson, intended for the rookie tight end out of Notre Dame, Kyle Rudolph.
Got lucky on this one because this was behind Kyle Rudolph. Little deflection right there down.
Son Hardy getting a piece of it.
Not really a great job of selling that play action. Christian Ponder.
Now on 2nd and 10, here's Peterson. Charles Johnson off to a terrific start this season with 6 sacks. Makes the tackle on Adrian Peterson.
I'll tell you what, you wouldn't know that Carolina was a 29th ranked run defense in the NFL, the way they're playing the start of this game.
Well, those two rookies inside, McLean and Fuat, they're doing a great job of playing the run, but they're on the line of scrimmage. The one thing that the Vikings, have to do is take advantage of them in the pass, because those guys are getting no penetration up the middle. Christian Ponder, he needs to go and step up and gain more time to get those receivers downfield. If they're playing the run really stout, they're not playing the pass.
4th down at 9 for Ponder and the Vikings. Ponder steps up, can't find anyone, and now he takes off and is down at the 27, 3 yards shy of the marker. And now a late flag, some extracurricular activity along the Panthers sideline.
Now, you talked about it, the difference that we're seeing out there between Christian Ponder and Cam Newton is when Christian Ponder is getting the pressure. Watch right here. He's back there. He's feeling the pressure right now. He's stepping up. He's looking around. He tucks the ball. He runs. His vision downfield is no longer. The defensive linemen know that.
There's Percy Harvin and Captain Munnerlyn.
Wow.
Well, there's action all over the field here.
Even off the field.
After the play was over, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, offense number 12. That's a 15-yard penalty that will be enforced from the end of the run. It is 4th down. The down counts.
I don't know how Percy Harvin got all the way over to the bench behind the Panthers, linemen and players that are on the sideline to go and find Munnerlyn.
Right, here he's coming out of his break.
Oh, he's driven out. Oh.
Looked like he was pushed over by Munnerlyn. But Harvin is flagged for the personal foul. Louis punting from his own 2-yard line. Edwards from the 38. Turns the corner. Return out to midfield by Armonte Edwards. 48-yard punt, 13 on the return. Fox Sports steps into the octagon with an epic heavyweight title fight as the #1 ranked contender in the world. Junior Dos Santos squares off with undefeated world champion Cain Velasquez in the must-see live event you can only catch on Fox. The UFC Heavyweight Championship of the World, live Saturday, November 12th, right here on Fox. Newton looking for Smith on 1st down.
It looked like Aaron Henderson might have gotten into that throwing lane. A good job recognizing that it was a play action, peeling out of that front, getting back and clogging that slant area that Cam was trying to hit Steve Smith in.
Panthers drove 90 yards on their last possession. Newton 6 of 10. Stewart, Carolina's leading rusher. Steve Smith, 3 receptions, 52 yards. 2nd and 10 from the Vikings 49. Jonathan Stewart inside the 45 to the 42, a gain of 7 as we check in once again on the Giants and Dolphins with Kurt.
Well, Reggie Bush said this week the Dolphins stink. The teammate said Reggie Bush stinks. I think everybody's smelling like a rose on this play against the Giants. Bush with a big run, 35 yards. They tack on a personal foul as well. A couple plays later, Matt Moore runs it in from a yard out. The Dolphins are up 14-3 on the Giants. Kenny Moose and Goose.
Thanks, Kurt. Matt Moore, the starter here in Carolina for a portion of last season. Now with the Dolphins, 3rd down and 3. Inside handoff to Stewart. And Jonathan Stewart drags Kevin Williams along and looks to have a Panthers 1st down.
So he might have injured his ankle a little bit at the end of that run. But a credit to the offensive line of the Carolina Panthers. On first down, you throw the incomplete. They're able to come back and go with 2 running plays to convert the first down.
Stewart out, D'Angelo Williams in. 2 set of downs for the Panthers. From the Vikings 39, Newton calls timeout with the play clock winding down. Early second quarter in Charlotte. We are tied at 7. Early here in Charlotte.
Go getting in the spirit.
You gotta love that.
Following the timeout, 1st and 10 from the Vikings 39. Off the play fake. Newton throws off the hand of Shockey.
Good decision. No, that's one of those max protection routes. You've got 2 guys going down the field vertical, and then you're going to leak your tight end and your running back out. So Cam checks downfield. They've got it covered well. Tries to come back and get Jeremy Shockey on that intermediate route.
I think Jeremy's happy he didn't catch that one.
Yeah, that would have been a nice collision.
Cedric Griffin was right there for the light up. Did a great job, though, Cedric, of not hitting him and not getting a penalty and staying off.
Shockey has the Panthers touchdown. Now on 2nd and 10. Newton fires downfield. Olsen, touchdown!
A lot of times we see guys running free through the secondary and you wonder how they beat them. Sometimes it's right at the line of scrimmage. You beat them on the release. Greg Olsen, a little wiggle right there. He's on top of Hussein Abdullah immediately. And it's an easy throw for Cam Newton.
39 yards from Cam Newton to Greg Olsen. Olsen's 4th touchdown of the season. Panthers score touchdowns on consecutive drives and have their first lead of the afternoon. Cam Newton's last 2 completions have both gone for touchdowns to the tight ends. First Jeremy Shockey and then Greg Olsen.
It's fun to watch this offense. I mean, they throw so much at you. They've got a good wide receiver group. Tony talked about the tight ends. D'Angelo Williams and Jonathan Stewart as your running backs. A lot of weapons for Cam Newton to work with.
Vikings will start from the 20, trailing by 7.
And Steve Smith has an impact on the game. Here's Jamarcus Sanford right here. Now, he's going to be focused on Steve Smith. He's out there. This is press man, which means everybody's up tight on the line. You've got Jamarcus Sanford playing that safety spot. You can see right there, he cheated all the way over to Steve Smith. And when Greg Olsen beat Hussein Abdullah right off the line, there was not enough time for Jamarcus Sanford to get back over and help out.
That's just a nice, easy seam route. And Olsen does a great job, too, of moving and working away from that safety, so he has no chance of coming into play.
Vikings start from their own 20, and Adrian Peterson is wrapped up. Game's just 1. On first down, Omar Gaither, and on the tackle along with Ronald Fields.
I know we came into this game saying the Panthers defense, ranked really, really low against the run, but I'll tell you what, they must have worked on it this week, Darryl, because these guys are stout up front.
Yeah, they were looking really, really good in their run defense. Sean McDermott right there, the defensive coordinator, did a nice job during the course of the week. Adrian Peterson just came off a monster game against the Packers last week at 175.
Peterson today, 5 carries, no yards. 6 carries, -1.
But the thing about Adrian Peterson is you have to play against him every single snap, because you might start, hey, we're doing a great job this afternoon. We've got him bottled up a little bit, and then all of a sudden he'll just take off and break along one. But look at that front. They're getting all their gaps filled, and it's a good job coming in from the outside by Chris Gamble. As the corner, Adrian Peterson wants to bounce outside. There's your corner coming in with support.
Sean McDermott, defensive coordinator. 3rd down and 10. Vikings must get to the 30 for a first down. Ponder moving to his left, throws, the catch is made by the tight end, Shanko, and he picks up a first. Thomas Williams remains down.
To account for the athleticism of Christian Ponder right now in certain situations, they're pulling Antoine Applewhite, number 93. He's right here. Now, he's one of your defensive linemen. Watch, he's going to mirror Christian Ponder. And he's just a little bit late getting there as Shanko gets outside, and that's where the collision was with Thomas Williams, who's still down on the field.
Panthers linebacker Thomas Williams injured on the last play. Remember, Carolina already without two starting linebackers on IR, John Beeson and Thomas Davis.
Yeah, gets a little bit of a collision with his own guy, R.J. Stanford.
Ponder on first down, throws, and the catch is made by Michael Jenkins, who had a big game last week against Green Bay. His first catch today, 24 yards.
Christian Ponder does a great job of having poise in the pocket. Earlier, me and Darryl were talking about him frustrated a little bit, but look at him just sit right in there, look downfield, and find his receiver.
You know, I think his offensive line allowed him to do it on this one, Tony. They made a nice pocket for him, and that's definitely one of the better plays we've seen by this Vikings offense to this point in the game.
It's their biggest play today on offense, 24 yards. Now Ponder stumbles, able to get it back to Peterson. So a good job by Ponder. Peterson gains 4 as we check in with Kurt.
Well, from Adrian Peterson to Patrick Peterson. 5th pick out of LSU in the draft. Slips a couple of Ravens tackles and takes the punt return 82 yards. His second punt return touchdown of the season. And look at this. Arizona on the road up 17-3 at Baltimore. Kenny Wilson goes.
All right, thanks, Kurt. Second down and 6 for the Vikings, who empty the backfield. Peterson in the slot. Ponder, quick release. But the pass is behind the intended receiver, Devin Aromashadu.
A little miscommunication between quarterback and wide receiver there, expecting a hitch or an outcut, and Devin Aromashadu is going down the field on a go route. On the outside here, expecting a little break right there.
Third down and 6 from the Carolina 39. Ponder's pass is caught for a first down by the tight end. Second round pick out of Notre Dame, Kyle Rudolph, who gains 13.
Minnesota has a nice group of tight ends. Tony's talked about the tight end group from Carolina. Minnesota can roll some guys at you too. Kyle Rudolph split all the way out up to the top, working one-on-one with Charles Godfrey, the safety. Good job being physical on the release, on that slant, getting back inside. But with Kyle Rudolph and Shanko, Jim Kleinsasser, they all do different things, but that's a nice group of tight ends for the Vikings.
I also want to point out Michael Jenkins did a nice job of slow blocking downfield.
As Peterson cuts it to the outside. Peterson takes it down to the 17-yard line. Gain of about 5.
All right, they talk about Adrian Peterson, where every gap is live. Now watch this run. He's going to go up inside. I'm going to go here. Nope. I want to go one more out here. And then he's all the way out to the edge. And when you come up to tackle Adrian Peterson, you better bring everything you got, because he's one of the most physical runners at the end of the run I've seen.
He is never going to go backwards, man. He gets that low center of gravity. He's always going forward with those legs. Try it.
Peterson picked up the first down as we approach 6 minutes remaining, second quarter. From the 16-yard line, Ponder slides down. It's about a yard to the Panthers' 15.
Just a straight-out busted play by Christian Ponder. But smart job. He goes, he tucks the ball, runs.
You know, what he does do, Tony, is he makes his decision right away. It looked like Adrian Peterson went the wrong way on that, and then, you know, when it's there, just go. And we've seen it, you know, sometimes in the pocket maybe a little bit too quick, but he's decisive. He doesn't wait too long and allow that pressure to get to him. If it doesn't look right, he's gone. And even when he's been taking sacks, they're not long yardage sacks.
10th play of the drive for the Vikings. Off the play fake, Ponder moving to his left, being chased, but not finding one downfield. And he is brought down at the 18-yard line by Omar Gaither.
Looks like another broken play, Darryl. Look, if you look at Christian Ponder, he opens up, comes over to his right. Adrian Peterson comes to his left. Let's look at it right here. You know, he's looking for it. He does not feel comfortable, like you said. I don't know if they're having a problem with the communication in the huddle or coming from the sideline, but that's two plays in a row. Bill Musgrove is not a happy guy right now.
Now on 3rd and 11. Ponder throws, and the catch is made. Good second effort. Then the ball comes loose, and the Panthers have recovered. Panthers say they have it. The question is, was the knee down?
DeSantis saying his butt was down.
Fans had a look at the replay up on the video screen. One more look. Captain Munnerlyn trying to strip the ball from Percy Harvin.
Looked like his knee was down before he got the ball totally away from Percy Harvin.
The ruling on the field is that the ball was fumbled. Defense recovered.
Well, if it's dual possession when he's down, Tony, it should go to the offense.
Yes.
They're fighting. It's already out. He is on the ground. He is not down, and that ball is loose. That's a great individual effort by Captain Munnerlyn of wrestling that away from Percy Harvin.
Remember, those are the two guys who went at it earlier when Munnerlyn shoved Harvin out of bounds, and then Harvin was called for the 15-yard unsportsmanlike conduct penalty, and now Harvin has the ball stripped by Captain Munnerlyn for a Vikings turnover.
And if you watched as he came in to make the tackle on Percy Harvin, he was not really going for the tackle. He was attacking the football, and Leslie Frazier needs to keep that in his pocket, and he's going to lose this challenge.
So Frazier has thrown the red challenge flag. The ruling on the field by Ed Hockley was a fumble, a Vikings turnover.
Minnesota is challenging the ruling on the field that the ball was fumbled.
So Ed Hockley will take a look as the Vikings will challenge the last play. Ruled a fumble by Harvin. A recovery by Munnerlyn.
You can see Captain Munnerlyn when he comes in, he is not going for the tackle. He is taking the football away from Percy Harvin.
And we will check in with our NFL rules analyst, Mike Pereira in Los Angeles. Mike, you had a chance to look at the last play. What do you think?
Yeah, kind of one of these things. The only thing that you can do here is put Harvin down by contact, because they ended up ruling that the ball was stripped away before Harvin was down by contact. So you have a clear catch, can't go to that. So that's about the only thing they could go to. And again, ruled catch, and ruled a fumble and a recovery. So you look at this and you got to think they could stay, because he looks to have stripped the ball away.
Hey, Mike, if Percy Harvin would have been down as Captain Munnerlyn was trying to strip that ball from him, and it was dual position, if that knee had touched the ground before it came out, does it stay Minnesota football?
Remember, you can't review dual possession. They ruled on the field that it was a fumble and recovered by the defense. So that aspect of it is not. You can't go back and say there was dual possession, so it's over, because really at that point it becomes survival of the fittest anyways. So all they can really look at on this play, the only thing that he can look at is if Harvin is deemed to be down by contact before the ball was stripped away. The only thing they can look at.
All the angles we've seen, Mike, it looks like he's up, so this should stand as ball.
Yeah, it does.
All right, thanks, Mike. Ed Hockley continues to look at the various angles. Ruled Carolina football on the field.
That's just a great job. I mean, there's no attempt at the tackle right there. I mean, Captain Munnerlyn is going for the football the entire time. Heads up play.
What a battle throughout this first half between Harvin and Munnerlyn. Captain Munnerlyn, in his third season out of South Carolina, had a sack earlier. That involved on the sideline with Harvin. And now this play as he strips Percy Harvin of the football. So if the ruling stands, it will be 1st and 10 for Carolina from their own 5-yard line. If it is reversed, it would be 1st and goal for the Vikings from the Carolina 5. Here comes Ed Hockley.
The ruling on the field is confirmed. Although there was a hand that continued in by the body as the defender pulled the ball away, the defender got possession of the ball and in fact was never touched to the ground until he was completely free of the other player. Minnesota is charged with their first timeout, and please reset the clock to 4:41.
So Leslie Frazier loses the challenge, loses a timeout. Vikings lose the football.
And right now, the Minnesota defense needs to be on guard right now. This system with Rob Chudzinski calling this system after a turnover, backed up, a perfect time for a big play shot down the field.
.437 on the clock. 4:37 on the clock.
So the clock will be reset. As Musgrave talks it over with Ponder.
You're saying big play right here, huh, Darryl?
You know, it's part of the methodology built into this offense. Very aggressive. Post turnover, backed up.
From the 5-yard line. Off the play fake. Pass bounces away from the intended receiver, Jerome Felton.
Any methodology in there to maybe not throw the ball at a fullback in that situation?
Well, he's the one guy that everybody's going to forget about in this offense.
Nobody's covering
Nobody's covering him at all. We got too many other people to worry about.
Felton, the former Detroit Lion, unable to hang on. Now 2nd and 10. Stewart up the middle. Gains 7 out to the 12-yard line.
But again, we've seen this a number of times today. When you're going to be aggressive and it's that downfield vertical passing game, you're going to get caught in some 2nd and 10s from time to time. When you throw that incomplete, as Jonathan Stewart limps off the field. And I remember he rolled up that ankle again earlier in the game. But the confidence in your offensive line and your running game, you come back and get 7 yards on 2nd and 10. That is huge.
So now 3rd down and 3 for the Panthers. Under 4 minutes to play, 2nd quarter. Carolina leading 14-7. 3 wide receivers. Newton out of the shotgun, takes off. And Cam Newton picks up a Panthers first down.
One of the things you have to account for in this offense is the called quarterback run. Just a little step back. He's got the guard pulling around. He's got D'Angelo Williams leading him through the hole.
Panthers now 4 of 5 on 3rd down today. From the 18, it's D'Angelo Williams. Williams gains 6 out to the 24.
Here comes that power running game now.
Yeah, that looks like they're trying to burn some time off the clock and slowly move that ball down the field. At some point, they're going to take a shot.
Oh, absolutely. They're setting them up with some play action here soon.
Have a look at Stewart, shaking up a couple of plays back. On 2nd and 4, quick release. And Nene has a first down and then a flag.
Yeah, he might get called for a face mask here. Get that stiff arm, you got to get it down in the chest area. You can't be up on the face mask. Quick little throw to the outside. Yeah, he gets it right up on Cedric Griffin, right on the face mask.
I'll tell you what, the formation.
Personal foul, face mask by the offense, the runner, number 17. It's a 15-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Repeat 2nd down.
I mean, that's the first time I saw that formation. Cam Newton in a shotgun formation. And then D'Angelo Williams lining up behind him. I mean, as a defensive lineman, I don't know what I would do there. Would I read run or pass? I mean, it makes it pretty difficult for that Minnesota defensive line. establish what's going on.
Well, with him, Tony, one of the things you have to worry about, they can motion D'Angelo Williams out of the formation, break it, and get him outside. But also, you've got that option. You know, he's behind you right now, so as a defensive lineman, you got to think option out of that formation.
Cam Newton, he can be a lead blocker too. He's got the size.
180. Saw the medical staff working on Jonathan Stewart. Following the penalty on 2nd and 12, Newton's pass is caught by Smith. Steve Smith makes the catch at the 28-yard line as we hit the 2-minute warning. 12-yard pass play. Panthers on the move, leading the Vikings by 7. Coming up, the Visa halftime report with Kurt, Terry, Howie, Michael, and Jimmy. Dolphins lead the Giants at the half, 14-10. The winless Colts trailing Tennessee 13-0. Here in Charlotte, Panthers lead by a touchdown. First play following the 2-minute warning. Screen to D'Angelo Williams. He takes it out to the 35-yard line, gain of 7. Panthers, as you see in the upper left-hand corner on our Fox box, have 2 timeouts remaining. Second down and 3. Newton's pass is high, and it's gathered in by Olsen for Panthers' first down. Out of the 42, gain of 7. Remember, Carolina started this drive back at their own 5-yard line following the turnover committed by Percy Harvin. Minute 15 on the clock, 2 timeouts for the Panthers. Here comes Jared Allen, knocks the ball away from Newton. It is loose. It's down at the bottom of the pile. Vikings say they have it. And they do. Jared Allen, now with 12.5 sacks this season. He forced the fumble. It's recovered by Chad Greenway.
He lulled Jordan Gross to sleep on this. He's going to come in from the left side. And when he gets to the quarterback on the backside, he's not looking for a sack. He's looking for a fumble, trying to create a turnover. But gave him this soft little shoulder on the pass rush, and when Jordan went to, he even buckled a little bit right there. But he gave him like that soft shoulder, and when Jordan Gross went to punch on it, there was nothing there.
Setup. That's what those defensive ends do. You know, they give you something, all of a sudden they take it away, and that's the one opportunity they have to go after it.
It has been confirmed from the replay booth. In the final 2 minutes, all reviews come from upstairs. So the Panthers commit their second turnover. And now Ponder dumps it off. Peterson inside the 20 to the 19-yard line, a gain of 20. And the Vikings will use their second timeout. Remember, they lost one on the challenge earlier in this second quarter. With 50 seconds remaining. What a week it has been for Jared Allen. Well, this December, 2 of the most storied conferences in college football culminate their seasons with 2 epic championship games for the first time in their history. Fox Sports will bring them to you on back-to-back nights. The Pac-12 championship game, Friday, December 2nd. The Big Ten championship game, Saturday, December 3rd. Both games right here on Fox. So it will be a big week in early December with the championship games, and a big week for Jared Allen. His wife Amy gave birth on Thursday to their first child, a daughter named Brindley, and Allen now has a sack in 10 consecutive games. He leads the league this season with 12.5. Ponder to Peterson. Adrian Peterson inside the 5, into the end zone. Touchdown.
Well, he got a nice block from Desante Shanko. I thought he should have gone out to the left, and he comes back to his right and picks up a great block by Desante Shanko. Number 81 is going to come from here, and as Adrian Peterson breaks back to the right, there's your block right there. He'd already come in and pinned him to the inside and opened up that whole side of the field.
Third career receiving touchdown for Adrian Peterson. Longwell adds the extra point. So what a turn of events late in this second quarter. First, the Vikings turnover, and then Jared Allen with the sack, the forced fumble of Cam Newton. So both Carolina turnovers, 2 sacks of Newton, turned the ball over twice, have led to Minnesota touchdowns.
Crazy start to the first half, crazy finish. Again, there's Visante Shanko at the tight end. Look at him stalk Charles Godfrey. And smart on top of everything else. You know, don't hold on to him. Your player's broken. He's going for the touchdown. Don't have a handful of jersey. Don't have a hold of his arms. We saw how good Adrian Peterson is at jumping down the line of scrimmage, where, you know, the coaches say when you play against him, every gap is live. He can make such great cuts. So, you know, on that one also, you know, when he gets the ball in the open field, you know, he's going to go anywhere. So we've had a couple of times when there's been bigger plays when Minnesota understands that they've got guys working down the field doing a great job.
Both Viking scoring drives have been 2 plays following Carolina turnovers. Jared Allen with the sack, forced fumble, and Ponder, Peterson, 19-yard touchdown. Panthers with 42 seconds remaining will start from their own 20. Kind of a wacky start to this game, and then a wacky finish to the first half.
Yeah, we had the big kickoff return to start the game, and then the turnover right away again by Carolina, kind of finishing the half the same way we started it. But, you know, the interesting thing about Carolina, you know, their 2 wins have been at home, and they've been games where they haven't turned the ball over. So obviously we've had some critical breakdowns on both sides of the ball today. Both teams having some issues. So fitting we'd be 14-14 going in at halftime. They've made their share of mistakes to have it be a close game.
And these teams have combined to blow 6 halftime leads so far, so might be a good thing if they go in tied at the half. Carolina with 2 timeouts. D'Angelo Williams takes the handoff from Newton and gains 4 out to the 24-yard line as time winds down in his first half here in Charlotte. Cam Newton sacked twice. Lost the football both times, and then the Vikings would score 2 plays later on each occasion. But he's also thrown 2 touchdown passes to the tight ends, Greg Olsen and Jeremy Shockey. Christian Ponder with a touchdown pass of his own moments ago to Adrian Peterson. So the Minnesota Vikings and Carolina Panthers head to their respective locker rooms at the half here in Charlotte, tied at 14. The Visa Halftime Report is coming up next. We get set for the second half in Charlotte. Tied at 14. Kenny Albert with Darryl Johnston. An entertaining first half. Cam Newton throws 2 touchdown passes, but also gets sacked twice, fumbles both times, which led to Minnesota scores.
When you play the Minnesota Vikings, there's going to be a couple of things that you have to do. Number one, you have to contain Adrian Peterson, and Carolina did a nice job in that department. The other one is you're going to have to contain Jared Allen. Now, they didn't do a very good job there. He's had a couple of big plays here this afternoon, and that's really been what Minnesota has been about. They've been more opportunistic this afternoon than they have been efficient. They're going to have to become much more efficient here in the second half, start to continue some drives, and not rely on that big play to get all their points and their momentum.
Vikings scoring early in the first quarter, late in the second. Follow your favorite team all season long. Go to iTunes.com/NFL. Cam Newton, 11 of 17, 152 yards. Christian Ponder, 8 of 12, 135 yards. And the touchdown pass to Adrian Peterson. There's Jared Allen. Sack, forced fumble. Now has a league high 12.5 sacks in 7.5 games. Panthers will get the ball to start this second half in a 14-14 game as Ryan Longwell kicks off through the back of the end zone. Cam Newton and the Panthers will start from their own 20, Goose.
I had a chance to talk to Ron Rivera, and he said, you know what, we want to get the tight ends more involved. Everything's working out pretty good, except for, you know, when we get the turnovers, we can't go and let the Vikings capitalize with big points. We have to stop them to either 3 or get the ball back. Our defense has to do a better job here in the second half when we have those quick turnovers.
right, thanks, Goose. We'll see how it develops in this second half. Angelo Williams in the backfield. The fake toss, then the handoff to Williams. And he is brought down by Aaron Henderson for a loss of 3 yards back at the 17. As we check out the first half numbers.
Well, being surprisingly enough in that first half, Percy Harvin was your leading rusher for the Minnesota Vikings, so Carolina doing a good job there. And, you know, Carolina has been more efficient. You see the total yards, the time of possession, but the big thing, obviously, the turnovers, and all 14 of Minnesota's points coming off those turnovers.
Now on 2nd and 13. Play action. Newton with time. And the pass out at the 40-yard line is caught by Legadou Nane. Gain of 23.
It's a heck of a catch by Legadou Nane. I don't know if this was an overthrow to Jeremy Shockey or he got it to him where he wanted. Look at him get his hands underneath that ball and pop it up off the ground.
And now the challenge flag from Leslie Frazier, who lost his initial challenge back in the second quarter.
Take a couple looks at this, but you know, the first one looks like he gets his hands underneath that ball before it hits the ground and is able to pop it back up, and there you see him rolling onto that shoulder.
Minnesota is challenging the ruling on the field that the pass was complete.
Now, if the Vikings lose this challenge, if the call on the field is upheld, then they will be out of challenges for the remainder of this game. Vikings challenge the last play, ruled a catch on the field by Legadou Nane.
The ruling on the field is confirmed. It was a catch. The hands were under the ball. Minnesota's charged with their first time out, and that is their last challenge. The clock remains the same.
That was the big thing there. I know it's a 23-yard game, but it is early in this second half. We're only 1 minute and 3 seconds into this, and now you are out of challenges in a 14-14 game.
Hey, we got 5-6. We got 5-6.
Ruling on the field is confirmed. It is a catch, a first down for the Panthers.
Sit.
At the 39-yard line, opening drive of this second half. Off the play fake to Williams. This time, Nane unable to make the catch. Jack Greenway on the coverage.
Would like to have seen Cam Newton press that a little bit more. They kept Jeremy Shockey in on the line of scrimmage. A lot of times when you have that bootleg, you'll have your tight end block down and then release to the flat. That time they kept Jeremy Shockey in, so I thought Cam had a little bit more opportunity to press that edge, maybe work the deeper route.
Jonathan Stewart back in the game, into his ankle late in the second quarter. Second down and 10. Off the fake handoff to Stewart. This is Newton. He picks up a first down. Finally, out of bounds at the Minnesota 37. Cam Newton gains 24 yards.
And this is a nice play. Two people right here. Number one, Cam Newton. Here's the things you have to defend. There's the read keep. You hand it to Jonathan Stewart, fake the handoff, and there's Jared Allen turning and running. He's the guy that makes the tackle all the way down the field. There's your defensive end hustling 20 yards down the field on a quarterback run.
New set of downs for the Panthers. Not sure Newton was ready for that snap. He throws, and Steve Smith makes the catch at the Vikings 28.
You're exactly right, Kenny. Looks like he almost hit him in the legs, the snap. Cam Newton, with his athleticism, goes and gets it. Here he's looking downfield. Shockey comes across. Just happened to be a great snap in the right area, or else he would have lost that one.
And then Smith gains 9. Fifth catch today for Steve Smith, 73 yards. Second down and 1. Williams, first down, Carolina.
Angelo Williams, the ball carrier. And it's a Panther.
Kind of gives you an example of what a hustle play that was by Jared Allen on Cam Newton's run. He's actually responsible for that dive portion of the read keep. He's got to close that down and tackle the running back if he gets handed the ball. And on that one where Cam pulled it and kept it, he not only rides the guy all the way down in to close that off, but then spins back out and chases Cam down the field.
On the Vikings 26. Newton intended for him to knee in the end zone. Broken up. Aaron Henderson along with Jamarcus Sanford on the coverage.
He got away with one here because he is completely covered when he gets into the end zone. He's going to have 3 Minnesota defenders closing on this ball. Jamarcus Sanford's in great position to get the interception. And it's a heady play by Aaron Henderson, you know, with his back to the ball, gets his hand up. You see Jamarcus Sanford, he was frustrated because he knew he had an opportunity for that interception.
On 2nd and 10, here's Stewart. His Aaron's brother, E.J. Henderson, who makes the tackle.
E.J. Henderson, along with Chad Greenway.
2nd and 12 upcoming for Cam Newton and the Panthers in a 14-14 game, early third quarter.
At the Vikings 27-yard line. 9th
play of the drive coming up. It will be 3rd down and 12. Movement prior to the snap.
Who is the better actor, Jordan Gross or Jared Allen?
I don't know. That was a great acting job, though. You know, that defensive lineman comes across the line of scrimmage as an offensive lineman. You know, either the center or the offensive lineman. Jared Allen. He knows that he got caught on that one.
Neutral zone infraction defense, number 52. 5-yard penalty, it's 3rd down.
Chad Greenway.
The linebackers come up in that deep end of the pool up on the line of scrimmage and they blow it for everybody down.
Hey, that's a tough call, you know, Jordan. You know, it's like what you kind of say. You know, when the center snapped the ball in that situation, catch him in that neutral zone infraction. Jordan Gross, you know, he does the flinch. You know, tells the official that you know he was impacted by Chad Greenway getting into the neutral zone.
Smart, heads up play.
Panthers 4 or 5 today on 3rd down. They must get to the 15-yard line. And they do. Steve Smith, touchdown, Carolina Panthers.
When you decide to blitz, you're going to leave the middle of the field open, and they had the perfect route called on the backside to Steve Smith, a slant. And it is a nice throw by Cam Newton. Steve Smith to the bottom there, working against Asher Allen again, beaten on the release. Inside, he's got no help. You have to understand where your leverage is, where your safety help is going to be. In that situation, you know, Asher Allen could not afford to lose Steve Smith to the inside.
Well, he's pressing him and never gets a hand on him to go and keep him on the line of scrimmage and throw the time.
R.A. adds the extra point. 3rd touchdown pass for Cam Newton today. That is a new season high. 21-14 Panthers. Another long scoring drive for the Carolina Panthers. Guy plays 80 yards and a 22-yard touchdown pass from Cam Newton to Steve Smith. Newton's 3rd touchdown pass today. Vikings once again will start from the 20.
Let's go back and take a look at the touchdown. And again, we've seen it a couple of times where you're getting beat at the line of scrimmage, and you know, here comes all your pressure. So that means the middle of the field is open. And look at that vacated area. And again, you know, watch at the beginning. We saw Greg Olsen do this to Hussein Abdullah in the first half. They're coming up and they're pressing, but they're not getting anything off that release. And Carolina is winning right away.
The Vikings now trail by 7. Here's Adrian Peterson, who had trouble with the handoff from Ponder and falls on it back at the 10-yard line.
I tell you have to compliment Carolina's run defense today. I mean, they have not allowed Adrian Peterson to get on track, and that one was a little bit beyond. I'm going to put that one a little bit more on Christian Ponder than Adrian Peterson.
Peterson in the first half, Darrell, 8 carries, only 14 yards, loss of 9 on that play. Second down and 19. As Ponder throws, the slant is caught by Jenkins up at the 17-yard line for a gain of 6.
And the impressive thing that Carolina has done, they've been able to slow Adrian Peterson down without committing that 8th guy down into the box. And that's what Christian Ponder was looking forward to. And that's what Adrian Peterson does to defenses. You've got to commit that 8th man down to the box. You get a lot of single safety, single high safeties in the secondary, which gives you the opportunity for big plays down the field.
Ponder on 3rd and 12. This is Aroma-Shadu. But he's tackled by the combination of Stanford and Munnerlyn. Vikings go 3 and out.
They have completely kept Minnesota's offense out of rhythm during the course of the game today. It's a nice job by the Carolina defense.
Monty Edwards awaiting the punt from Chris Kluwe.
Let's go!
Kick. Edwards from the 28th is a flag. Flag back in the area of where Kluwe punted from. So Ed Hockley will get together with his crew. It's against the Vikings.
Holding by the kicking team, number 51. That 10-yard penalty will be enforced from the end of the punt return. First down.
Larry Dean, the guilty Viking. Back at Charlotte, Panthers lead the Vikings 21-14. Good starting field position for Carolina following the penalty on the punt.
180.
From their own 39, off the play fake to Stewart. Newton's pass intended for Felton, big hit by Cedric Griffin. Felton shaken up.
And that's going to be on Cam Newton right there. You have to understand what that coverage is, and it's one of those roll cover twos where Cedric Griffin's going to roll, and it looks like he's going deep, but he's coming back up to cover that flat. And he left his fullback out to dry a little bit on that one.
Got to protect those ribs as soon as you get that ball.
Good tackle by Cedric Griffin.
Great tackle open field. Big man, too.
Now on 2nd and 10, here's Stewart. Stewart gains 4, out to the 43-yard line. Get coverage of every NFL game on NFL Mobile. Call ** NFL Now. Felton looking to walk it off. 3rd down and 6 coming up for the Carolina Panthers, who have scored touchdowns on 3 of their last 4 possessions. Newton with touchdown passes to Shockey, Olsen, and Smith. And the Panthers have been terrific today on 3rd down. Panthers must get to the 49. And they will not, as the name is wrapped up by Hussein Abdullah. Terrific tackle. So the Panthers go 3 and out.
That was a good tackle. That was open field. Hussein Abdullah is the only player over there. If Legadou Nane can break that tackle, he's going to have enough for the first down and more. You can see how open that field is over to that side. Hussein Abdullah the only one before his teammates rally for the tackle.
Baker punting for only the 2nd time today. Sherrill's back deep for the Vikings. End-over-end kick. Taken out to 12 by Sherrills. And it's Munnerlyn. What a game for Captain Munnerlyn. He has 4 tackles, a sack, a forced fumble, a fumble recovery, and tremendous coverage on special teams. Christian Ponder and the Vikings trailing by 7. Ponder and Cam Newton got to know each other very well during the offseason. They trained together down in Florida.
Yeah, interesting. They had the IMG complex down there. Actually got into a little bit of friendly competition with each other, see who would be the first one into the weight room, first one into the film room. Had an opportunity to get to know each other.
Competing against one another at the NFL level for the first time. They are first-round draft picks. This is Toby Gerhart. His first carry today. Gerhart gains 5, and we check in once again with Kurt.
Well, look at this. Steven Jackson, 32-yard run for the Rams. He's out of bounds, but scored a couple plays later. 24-0 St. Louis all over the New Orleans Saints right now.
That is a shocker. It would be tough to sustain your offense that scored 62 points last week, but to be shut out at this stage?
Here's Peterson on 2nd and 6, stays on his feet, and picks up a Vikings first down. Perhaps some of that St. Louis Cardinals magic has rubbed off on the Rams today.
It appears that way.
And Adrian Peterson, Louis, you talk about the way he runs. Look, he's got a hold of somebody's leg. He's still going and does a nice job of protecting the ball. That is huge right there, especially, you know, when you get a guy like Charles Johnson coming in for the big strip on the backside. Running like a bad man.
It's a hard 22 yards he's got. You should have more than that.
Yeah, it really does.
There's Gerhart, big burst up the middle, out to the 32. Toby Gerhart in his second season out of Stanford, gains 9.
You know, one thing about Adrian Peterson that I've seen is they've been rotating him and Gerhart in and out. You know, the first play of this series, he wasn't in there on first down. See him over there on the sideline right now, so I don't know, if this is part of their game plan, and we see different looks with Adrian in there compared to when he's not in there, but that seems to be working here on this possession.
There's Gerhart on 2nd and 1, and Gerhart picks up another first down out to the 43-yard line. He was the runner-up in Heisman Trophy voting 2 years ago to Mark Ingram. So Toby Gerhart with 3 carries on this drive as Adrian Peterson checks back in. Gerhart limping off to the sidelines.
I don't want to take anything away from Toby Gerhart. He was running pretty good on that one, but there was some open area right there that if Adrian Peterson had the ball on that particular run, he might still be running.
Gerhart goes 3 carries, 24 yards in this drive, so he is now the Vikings' leading rusher today. 1 more yard than Peterson. Now Peterson back on top into Panthers territory to the Carolina 41. Adrian Peterson with his biggest run of the day, 15 yards.
And it's taken Minnesota a little bit too long, to find out what they need to be doing, and that's just let's run the ball at him. I mean, we talked about Carolina's run defense being ranked 29th in the NFL. They've lost John Beeson. They've lost Thomas Davis at the linebacker spot. So instead of having your top 3 linebackers, you've got 3, 4, and 5 on your roster playing linebacker for you.
Now Ponder looking to throw on first down for the tight end Shanko, who made a diving attempt and then took a hit from the free safety Sherrod Martin.
Good range by Sherrod Martin, because I think Visanthe Shanko is going to make this catch. Number 81 releases up the field. He's going to go out to the corner. He's got his man beat. He's on top of Omar Gaither. And Sherrod Martin, watch. He's extending. He's got it in his hands. I think he's going to have the opportunity to pull that in. Sherrod Martin with some good range comes over and puts the hit on him.
Peterson in the backfield, 2nd and 10 from the Carolina 42. Jenkins in motion. Off the play fake. Ponder chased by Johnson. Ponder throws, and it's a bit high. Arona should do the intended receiver.
When you're going to run the boot, you've got to be responsible for the guy on the backside. Now they're going to fake to Adrian Peterson. He's got to do a little bit more on Charles Johnson right there. He can't allow him to get after Christian Ponder that quickly. You got to secure that backside edge so your quarterback has time to roll out, set his feet.
third down and 10 for the Vikings. Empty backfield, everybody out. Ponder on third down, complete for a first down to Visanthe Shenko. A 12-yard pass play as the Vikings move the chains.
That's a nice field by Visanthe Shenko, because this is really just a sticks route. You're just going to go down, you get the necessary depth for the first down, find an open window, and Visanthe Shenko gets right in between the two linebackers, settles that down. Nice little field right here, right over the top, slide into that open spot.
First and 10 from the Carolina 30. Adrian Peterson runs right into the arms of Dan Connor.
I mean, if you're a defensive lineman for the Carolina Panthers, you have to look at this key. Adrian Peterson is 8 yards deep in the backfield. The lights got to go off, and you got to say, here comes the run. He's getting the ball. And it's exactly what happened on that play, and they went and stopped him on the line of scrimmage. You just need to do a better job of relaying runner pass as a defense.
Down. Ready.
Ponder on 2nd and 9, dumps it off to Peterson, and Peterson picks up another Minnesota first down for the Carolina 17, a gain of 12.
We talked about Minnesota's offense being more opportunistic than efficient today, but Bill Musgrave's got them rolling on this drive right here. This has been well done, and it's been done with the run. It was all set up, and early in this drive, it was Toby Gerhart, not Adrian Peterson, that kind of got it going.
Gerhart back in the game. Vikings started this drive all the way back on their own 10-yard line. From the Carolina 17, it's Gerhart. Looks to cut to his right. And takes it down to the 14 for a gain of 4. So a good series for Toby Gerhart, who carried the ball only 12 times all season over the Vikings' first 7 games. Gerhart with 4 carries, 28 yards on this drive. Second down and 7. Off the fake to Peterson. Ponder under pressure once again, this time from Hardy. Throws it away, and there is a flag back at the 2-yard line.
Before the pass was thrown, holding defense number 41. It's a 5-yard penalty from the previous spot and an automatic first down.
It's on Munnerlyn.
Captain Munnerlyn working down at the bottom against Devin Aroma-Shadu. And that's an easy one. It's still lobbying for it, though.
There are definitely some guys who can do some damage in Hollywood here now. They are doing a great job of 52 fake out on some of these holes. Getting the calls.
First and goal from the 9. Peterson inside the 5, still on his feet, and he is in. Touchdown, Adrian Peterson.
That's the thing about Adrian Peterson. I mean, you've kept him in check most of the afternoon. I mean, earlier in this drive, it was 9 carries for only 22 yards. But since that time, it's 5 for 44. And it's just on this drive. I mean, this is just a great run here. Look at the balance.
Keeps those legs moving. Look at that. He's in the air. He changes his direction. Knows where he's going.
A 90-yard drive by the Panthers earlier. And now the Vikings drive 90 yards and tie the game at 21. League-leading 9th rushing touchdown of the season for Adrian Peterson. 12-play, 90-yard drive for the Vikings. Peterson, 34 yards on the ground. The reception for 12 yards on that drive. And with 73 receiving yards today, Peterson ties his career high set right here in Charlotte back in December of 2009. Kickoff is bobbled by Polaris, picks it up, and brings it out to the 24. Just under 2 minutes remaining in this third quarter. Cam Newton and the Carolina Panthers involved in a 21-21 tie with Minnesota Vikings.
And here you go. I mean, we talked about this offense being relatively the same, except for, Cam Newton. They've added a couple of tight ends with the offensive line, the running backs. Look at the change from 2010 to 2011 in just 8 games. And again, this is the most explosive offense in the NFL at the halfway point. They've had big plays again today, completely different from what this group was last year.
Stewart bouncing it to the outside, so through 8 games, a half season, already more big plays for the Panthers than the entire 2010 season when they finished 2-14, and more touchdowns than they scored all of last year.
And it's the mentality. It's what Rob Chudzinski has brought to this offense as a mentality, that aggressive vertical passing game down the field at the base of it. One of the reasons, Ron Rivera brought in Rob Chudzinski, their relationship back home. And there's some of the intangibles with Cam Newton right there. This is his team. This is his huddle. And for a young guy to step up and hold everybody accountable, that's impressive. That's some of the things that you can't teach somebody. That's got to be within Cam Newton.
Second down and 4, D'Angelo Williams, gain of 2. So 3rd and 2 right after this game break with Kurt.
Rams on top of the Saints 24-0 in the third quarter. But the Saints defense trying to make a game of it. They sack A.J. Feely. He coughs it up. Jonathan Vilma gets it for the touchdown. He's now 24-7. Saints still in a big hole. Can he move some deuce?
All right, thanks, Kurt. St. Louis Rams at 0-6 heading into the game today. Shocking the New Orleans Saints. 3rd down and 2. Newton steps up. And he's down about a yard shy. So with a half minute remaining in this third quarter, the Panthers will punt.
It was interesting listening to Rob Chudzinski talk about, how people have defended Cam Newton in the beginning of the season. Early on, we're going to stack the box and we're not going to let that Carolina running game get going and see if this young guy can beat us. Well, he just totally lights up Arizona. Then they came out and, they would drop into coverage and play a lot of zone and test his patience and his ability to go through the progression. And that wasn't working either. So he's given some defensive coordinators and some defenses some fits at this early stage of his NFL career.
Third quarter comes to an end. Each team with a touchdown in the third. We are tied at 21. Should be fun. Fourth quarter up next. Tied at 21 here in Charlotte. What does Jared Allen have under that glove and the tape on his wrist? It's the bracelet from the hospital. His daughter born on Thursday. He said, I can't take it off. For the game on Sunday, I won't be able to take my daughter and my wife home from the hospital.
He was nervous he wasn't going to be able to leave with her for his off. I'm sure they would have said, okay, Jared, we'll let you have your baby.
Baker's punt fielded at the 17 by Sherrills. And Sherrills brings it out to the 27, loses his helmet in the process. 50-yard punt, 10 on the return. Well, tonight, Animation Domination welcomes its newest member. From Jonah Hill, the executive producer of Family Guy, comes Alan Gregory, premiering tonight after The Simpsons right here on Fox. Vikings and Panthers tied at 21. Vikings scored on their last drive. There's Adrian Peterson, who has 2 touchdowns today.
Ready?
Vikings start from their own 26. Off the play fake. Ponder under pressure from Hardy. Fires downfield, and a diving attempt is made by Aroma Shadu. 2nd and 10 coming up.
Nice job by Christian Ponder on this one, just staying in that pocket. We've seen a couple times before where he's moved. He kind of hangs in there. He feels everything closing down on him. Gets a lot on this throw. Devin Aroma should do a little double move on the outside. Doesn't get R.J. Stanford to bite on it. Just beyond the fingertips.
Now Ponder will use a timeout. Vikings lost one earlier this half on the challenge, so Minnesota with 1 timeout remaining. Early
Timeout,
fourth quarter.
That's their second.
In a 21-21 game. Back in Charlotte, Panthers and Vikings tied at 21. 2nd and 10 for Minnesota following the timeout. From the 26-yard line. Play action, Ponder in trouble, and he throws it away. Charles Johnson providing the pressure for the Panthers.
This seems to be a common theme. Christian Ponder not having a whole lot of time to complete these passes. You get Adrian Peterson matched up on the big defensive end. Tough duty, but you got to get in there. You got to get square. You got to make him go through you to get to your quarterback.
We're down at 10. Low snap. Ponder looks downfield. Now he throws. It's Shanko. And a terrific second effort by Visante Shanko, who picks up a Vikings first down out to the 39, a gain of 13.
Well, we saw Captain Munnerlyn go in and take a ball away from Percy Harvin earlier. Let's see what happens here. Visante Shanko, number 81, pushes up. See if Charles Godfrey comes in and tries to take it away instead of securing that tackle. Allows Visante Shanko to get those yards back for the first down.
The one thing about Shanko, though, he knows exactly where the first down marker is. You know, we have a yellow line here on television, but he just knows how many yards he's got to get to and is always there. So when he gets the ball, you know that the chains are going to be moving in a situation like that.
So he's got the yellow line in his head, Goose.
He really does.
And then Peterson bottled up on the handoff from Ponder. Loss of a yard, second down and 11.
Well, the defensive line of Carolina, we've seen the pressure on Christian Ponder today, but then also right there to make Adrian Peterson change direction deep in the backfield because they're getting penetration on that run game. They've done a good job controlling the line of scrimmage.
Ready?
3 wide receivers, second out 11, the toss to Adrian Peterson. And Peterson takes it out to the 48-yard line. About 2 yards shy of a first down. Omar Gaither ran him out of bounds. Peterson gains 10 on the play, so a third and about 2 coming up for the Vikings.
And then the right play called there. The pressure from Carolina was coming up inside on the defense. Had that toss sweep called to get on the edge.
Here's Peterson up the middle into Panthers territory for a Vikings first down as we head to Los Angeles. Kurt Menefee.
Once down at home to Arizona, 24-3. The Ravens have come all the way back to take the lead. Ray Rice, 3 second-half touchdowns. This one from 3 yards out. And just like that, the Ravens are on top, 27-24. Getting Moose and Goose.
All right, thanks, Kurt. Big comeback by Goose's former club. Ravens rallying the Cardinals by 3. And the Panthers 47. Gerhardt. Not much. Charles Godfrey coming up to make the tackle for Carolina.
Adrian Peterson, his first 7 carries, he's got 4 yards. His last 8 carries, he's got 59. And from that standpoint, he reminds me of Barry Sanders, who played when I played. And you could be doing a great job against Barry Sanders, but you were just always worried that he'd have that one run and just blow the game wide open. It was so stressful on our defense because they couldn't make a single mistake. And Adrian Peterson reminds me that you can have him bottled up, but he's always one snap away from a huge play.
Off the fake to Gerhardt. Ponder throws. Pass intended for the tight end, Rudolph.
You know what, Darryl, you're absolutely right. But just mentioning Barry Sanders' name, I mean, if you were a defensive player and you played against him, it's like, where is he? You know, you start getting the chills because that guy could really embarrass you real quick. And same with Adrian Peterson. If you're going to go and tackle a guy like that, you better secure it, and everybody on your team better be running to the ball to go and make sure that guy's down, because he will go and get 2 or 3 extra yards after you get a dead stop.
Fans on their feet, third down and 11. Empty backfield for Minnesota. Ponder throws, incomplete. Both Rudolph and Romashadu in the vicinity. Pass sailed incomplete, and the Vikings will punt with 11.5 remaining in this fourth quarter.
Again, a credit to this defensive line of the Carolina Panthers, forcing Christian Ponder out to the left. He's a right-handed quarterback moving to his left on a critical third down here in the fourth quarter.
This is the area of the field where you could run a fake punt, Darryl. 50-yard line, take a shot. Not today.
Vikings go the conventional route, the punt by Kluwe. Fair catch called for by Edwards at the 21. Here comes Steve Smith, Cam Newton, and the Panthers offense. Back in Charlotte, tied at 21, Vikings and Panthers. Panthers start from their own 20-yard line. They've gone 3 and out on their last 2 possessions. Newton to D'Angelo Williams out of the backfield to the 26-yard line. Gain of 6, Aaron Henderson the tackle.
And just get back into those little things that you were doing well when the offense was moving down the field, and run your play action, check it down, start forcing Minnesota to come up and make those tackles. Then you can try and sneak somebody behind.
Cam Newton with a new season and career high, 3 touchdown passes today. 2 to the tight end, Shockey and Olsen, and the other to Steve Smith. Second down at 4. He fakes the inside handoff to Stewart, and the pass incomplete intended for Greg Olsen.
Misfired on that one, and that's that little read keep play action. Here's Greg Olsen, the tight end. You're going to try and get these linebackers here to bite up on the play fake and slip Greg Olsen in behind that linebacker level.
Looks like he just lost where he was when he dipped down a little bit on that play action.
And they looked like Greg Olsen was kind of drifting out to the right as well. He should have been more, vertical up that seam.
Now Olsen lined up in the backfield, and Newton calls timeout.
Timeout, Carolina. That's their first.
With 10:48 remaining
It's a
in the 4th
30-second
quarter here in
timeout.
Charlotte. Panthers facing a 3rd down and 4. Coming up after our football coverage, go behind the scenes with Cain Velasquez and Junior Dos Santos as they prepare to go head-to-head for the heavyweight championship of the world. UFC Prime Time, following football right here on Fox.
Can you ever think about fighting in the UFC?
Only in my dreams.
I'd like to do that one time.
Talk to Jay Glazer. He'll get you in. NFL Insider. 3rd down and 4. Newton will keep it himself, and he's tripped up. So the Panthers, for the 3rd consecutive possession, go 3 and out. Aaron Henderson made the play for the Vikings.
Yeah, and Aaron Henderson has had a nice day today. He's been one of the guys that's made some critical plays, some nice plays. And here again, it's quarterback run, and it's so hard because usually the quarterback's going to hand the ball off. As a defense, you're accounting for 10 guys. When the quarterback's going to run the ball, now you have to account for all 11. You can get an extra blocker in front of the quarterback. Aaron Henderson does a nice job fighting through, getting the hit on Cam.
Baker waiting back at his 15-yard line. Sherrill's back deep for the Vikings. Taken at the 21 by Marcus Sherrill. He's forced back. Down at the 15. Terrific coverage by the Panthers special teams. 51-yard punt. -6 on the return. Adrian Peterson with a pair of touchdowns today. Our crew had a great time in London last week calling the Bears and Buccaneers, and we want to send out our regards to the folks watching this game live in the UK on Sky Sports this afternoon, nighttime in the UK. And it's a good one. Panthers and Vikings tied at 21 as Peterson gains a couple out to the 22-yard line.
I was impressed. The last time we were there 4 years ago, and it seems like American football has grown even more as we were there last week, and I had an opportunity to talk with some of the fans there. They're very intelligent on our game. I was very impressed, and great hospitality, so thanks to everybody from Sky Sports.
Yeah, they did a great job. The game and even after the game.
Hope they're enjoying this one on Sky Sports. Week 8. Peterson. Another terrific job by the Panthers defensively as we send it once again to Kurt.
The Giants have their first lead of the ball game, and it took them until midway through the 4th quarter to do it. Eli Manning hooking up with Victor Cruz. He just keeps on going. Gets in the end zone. Giants lead the Dolphins right now 20-17. Just over 4 minutes left. Trying to keep the Dolphins winless. Kenny?
All right, thanks very much, Kurt. Giants coming off their bye at 4-2, first place in the NFC East. Third down and 7 for Christian Ponder and the Vikings. Pass is caught by Harvin, and he breaks free for a first down. He was ruled down before the ball came loose. Harvin gains 11.
You're absolutely right, Darryl. I'll tell you what, right after he catches the ball, nice little spin, stays on his feet, and finds that first down marker.
Watch, 2 blitzers coming, so Captain Munnerlyn is free, so they got to throw hot, but they've got it covered. Chris Gamble is right there. Watch number 20, and just completely misses on the tackle. Great individual effort by Percy Harvin.
Harvin's third catch today. New set of downs for the Vikings, who are perfect on third down in the second half. Now 5 for 5. There are 8 minutes to go. Peterson out to the 34-yard line. Gain of 5.
You know, we saw Percy Harvin on that last play. Hot route, like Darryl mentioned, to the outside. I'll tell you what, he's such an explosive player, but he's got to stay healthy. I mean, the last 3 years have been really tough for him trying to stay healthy. But I'll tell you what, if he can stay healthy, Darryl, that's a guy who can really go and change a game really quick.
Well, he's an explosive talent, and that's the one thing that Minnesota has to find out on the outside, that explosive player week in and week out.
Play action on 2nd and 5, and the pass is caught out near midfield by Aroma Shadu for another Vikings first down, a 15-yard pass play.
Really nice throw here by Christian Ponder on the deep in route. There's Aroma Shadu, number 19 at the top. Going to come down, run a dig route. The deep in, right into the middle of the field. Over the linebackers in front of the safety.
That offensive line does a great job of giving Christian Ponder plenty of time.
Under 7 minutes to play from the 49-yard line. Play fake to Peterson. Ponder in trouble. Down he goes. Back at the 44-yard line. Charles Johnson with his 7th sack of the season. He now has a sack in 7 of the 8 games this year.
Hard play action, and they're trying to get everybody to bite, and they're going to send 2 guys deep on this. There's the hard play action, so it's a full sell. Nobody gets open deep down the field. Charles Johnson comes around. Christian Ponder does a good job with the ball security here because there's a great chance for a sack fumble on that. Squeezed it right as Charles Johnson got there.
Second down at 15. Ponder complete to Harvin. Percy Harvin has a first down to the Panthers 33. So Harvin shaken up a couple of plays ago. Back on the field, he gains 22.
It's a little bit of his old school return ability right there. You get him in space, isolated, man to man. He runs away from the defender, and everybody has their back to the quarterback. They don't realize that Percy Harvin has made the catch. And there's something that Carolina can't afford. They were excited to have Omar Gaither back, and he's down on the ground right now. They cannot afford any more injuries to their linebacker group.
We've talked about it. They've lost John Beeson and Thomas Davis, a couple of starters for the season. Omar Gaither spent the last 5 years in Philadelphia, grew up here in Charlotte, reunited with coordinator Sean McDermott. Gaither shaken up. .5:48 remaining, 4th quarter. The Vikings on the move in a 21-21 game. Minnesota led 7-0 after 1. We were tied at 14 at the half, tied at 21 after 3 quarters. There's Thomas Davis, who missed all of last season and suffered a torn ACL, so he is out once again.
John Beeson, week 1, just a couple plays into the season, tears his Achilles. So it's been a tough go for Carolina at their linebacker spot.
And it's also affected them on special teams.
Yeah, exactly. Great point, Kenny, because that's one of the areas, that Ron Rivera will tell you he needs improvement, especially in the return portion. Coverage not that bad, but the return portion has really struggled for Carolina.
On the 34, on first down, it's Peterson, tries to cut it back inside. He spins and gains a yard. Down to the Panthers 33. Sherrod Martin made the tackle with 5.5 to play.
There's that pursuit that Tony talks about. When you play an elite running back in the NFL, you have to have everybody committed to stopping him. You can't expect 1 or 2 of your guys on defense to be able to control Adrian Peterson. Everybody has to be moving to the football.
I'll tell you what, this drive is really taking something out of that Carolina defense right now. I mean, they're slow getting back to the huddle. It's like they're wore out a little bit. Vikings got to take advantage of this if they can.
Toss to Peterson on 2nd and 9, running through that Carolina defense, Tony. And Adrian Peterson has another first down to the Panthers 20.
He's just, sometimes it's like he's fearless. I mean, he runs so downhill. I mean, this is a toss sweep coming right at you. Watch when he decides to get north and south, right here. And look, I mean, he's just straight down the field, just like daring somebody to come up and put a hit on him.
He anticipates when he's going to have that opening, and he just has another gear and runs through it, and his timing is impeccable.
156 combined yards for Peterson today. Harvin in the backfield. Makes the handoff from Ponder. Pushing the pile down to the 18-yard line, a gain of 3.
Adrian Peterson, ball carrier, tackled by James Anderson. Along with
We approach 4 minutes remaining in this fourth quarter. Offensive coordinator Bill Musgrave. Vikings started this drive back at their own 15-yard line.
9-play drive so far. Here's the 10th one coming up, and they're just pounding them up front. That run game is working so good. You get that play action right here for the end zone.
2nd down and 7 off the fake to Harvin. Ponder's pass is caught by the tight end Rudolph. Munnerlyn made the stop. Gain of just 2. So it will be 3rd down and 5. For the Vikings. They are already in field goal range for Ryan Longwell.
And one of the best plays that they've had when they've gotten down into this part of the field has been just a simple check down to Adrian Peterson on a pass.
Poroshenko.
Vikings must get to the 11 for a first down. 3rd down and 5. Shovel pass. Peterson, and he will be tackled shy of the first down, about 2 yards shy. So Leslie Frazier will send out the field goal unit with 2:47 remaining.
Good job by Carolina not getting fooled. We've seen this, I think, the 3rd time today. And it's an interesting style on the shovel pass, coming right into the middle of the field, not trying to stretch it out and force a decision by a defensive end, but going right at the heart of that Carolina defense.
Tell you what, I know they didn't get the first down, but Jim Kleinsaucer, man, did he throw a block downfield. That guy is a stout man right there.
That was Charles Godfrey who made the tackle, Goose. The Panthers used their 2nd time out here to stop the clock with 2:47 remaining. So each team with 1 timeout remaining as Newton gets ready. On the sideline, Ryan Longwell missed his only attempt on the opening drive of the game from 45 yards out. This a 31-yard attempt for the lead. Philly places it down, and the kick by Longwell is straight through. Longwell hitting from 31 yards out with 2:43 on the clock. 4th quarter, the Vikings lead by 3. Christian Ponder, 2 minutes 43 seconds away from his first win as a starting quarterback in the National Football League. Vikings lead by 3. Polaris takes it out for the Panthers. Out to the 24-yard line. 2:38 on the clock. 1 timeout plus the 2-minute warning for Cam Newton and the Panthers.
And this is one of those areas that this team has to take the next step as you're kind of turning everything around, going through that progression. You want to start to solidify a home field advantage, be a tough team to play at your stadium. And to do that, you've got to find ways to win these types of games that are hanging in the balance. And it's really, one of the things that Carolina has to do to take that next step.
Newton and the Panthers with 1 4th quarter comeback this season against Jacksonville. Over the middle, intended for the tight end Olsen. 2nd and 10 coming up. Aaron Henderson on the coverage.
Greg Olsen just going down. We've seen this from both teams, just going down, finding that soft spot. And again, Aaron Henderson, he's had a nice game today. Played well against the pass and the run.
Second and 10 from the 24. Panthers trail by 3. Complete to Nene. To the 33-yard line, so 3rd down and 1 upcoming. Asher Allen made the tackle. We approach the 2-minute warning. Carolina with 1 timeout. 2:10 on the clock. 3 wide receivers set. 3rd down and 1. Newton dumps it off to Stewart, and Jonathan Stewart picks up a Carolina 1st down out to the 40. As we hit the 2-minute warning with the Panthers on the move, trailing the Vikings by 3. With the Panthers trailing by 3, there is Olindo Mare, the 15-year veteran. His career long is 56, season long 45, our blue line on the 28. So the Panthers need to get 32 yards to get to the 28-yard line, which would equal his season long of 45. 2 minutes remaining, 4th quarter. Newton under pressure, spins away from Greenway and then taken down back at the 31-yard line by Hussein Abdullah.
Jonathan Stewart's got to make a choice. He's got to pick one or the other. Normally you pick the inside guy. You're going to have 2 coming off the edge. Step up, take the inside guy. He lets the inside guy go, and then he doesn't do a whole lot on Hussein Abdullah on the outside.
3rd Viking sack today on 2nd and long. Newton to Stewart, and Stewart will be tackled at the 35-yard line. He did not get out of bounds. Clock runs. 1 timeout remaining for the Panthers, who are now facing a 3rd down and 14. Carolina trailing by 3. They must get to midfield for a 1st down. Newton throws out of bounds, intended for Brandon LaFell. So with 1:09 left to play, it has come down to this for Cam Newton and the Panthers. 4th down and 14.
I would have liked to have seen him check that one down again, try and get half of that back on 3rd and 14.
Yeah, a little
put you
piece.
in a much better shot. He had Steve Smith sitting over top of him in the middle of the field.
Wouldn't be surprised if they put somebody on Cam Newton to spy him a little bit, just so he doesn't, not able to run.
Fourth and 14 for Carolina. They must get a 1st down. Newton looks. He throws. 1st down and more. Brandon LaFell inside the 25. Out of bounds at the 20. LaFell gains 44 on his 1st catch of today's game.
You're going to have a great bull rush by Kevin Williams. No, it's actually Brian Robinson driving, pushing. It doesn't impact Cam Newton at all. And here comes Brandon LaFell into that soft spot. What a heck of a throw by Cam Newton, just over the fingertips.
I can't believe both of those defensive backs bid on the underneath play. That would have only been 10 yards. They would have still lost the ball instead of going for the deeper guy.
44 yards from Newton to LaFell. 1st and 10 from the Minnesota 21. Newton to Nene. And the Vikings 14. A gain of 7 with 54 seconds remaining.
Well, Jared Allen told us this season has just been filled with inconsistency, breakdowns during the course of the game by individual guys, and in that situation, that's unacceptable. 4th and 14 to allow somebody to be that open down the field, like you said, Tony, jumping the things that are short of the 1st down in front of you.
That's the first thing, in this situation as a prevent defense, you play everything in front of you, because you got the clock going against the offense and the distance.
Newton on 2nd and 3, fires, end zone. Olsen, the intended receiver, Henderson on the coverage along with Abdullah.
Now be smart here. You've got an opportunity to win this game in regulation, but don't give up the opportunity to send it to overtime. Don't get too aggressive. Hussein Abdullah, we've seen that route a couple of times today. Recognizes it, jumps in, gets a hand to deflect it away from Greg Olsen. Steve Smith at the top of your screen.
We're down in 3. Newton takes off, turns the corner, first down. He dives, and there was a flag at the end of the play. Newton picked up the first down, out of bounds, right around the 2-yard line with 42 seconds on the clock.
Holding, offense, number 89. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Repeat, third down.
Steve Smith.
Well, this is a design run because the wide receivers at the top of the screen are coming down to crack on that second level. And Steve Smith was one of those guys coming from the outside in on the block. There's 89 coming to the inside. Just bad anticipation. You have to know that Chad Greenway is going to be moving that way. If you're going to miss so he has to run underneath you. Don't allow him to climb over the top.
So the penalty forces the Panthers back. It is now 3rd down and 7 from the 18-yard line. Newton on 3rd down, complete but not enough. Smith makes the catch at the 13. So the clock will run down before timeout is taken by Leslie Frazier, and the Panthers will send out the field goal unit.
Well, Minnesota had Carolina exactly where they wanted. They force a 4th and 14 on that drive. But Minnesota's defense moves up. Marcus Sherrills has a receiver in front of him. He starts to step up, and that little step puts him out of position because that ball just cleared his hand by a couple of inches.
That is not one of those plays that you're going to want to see on Monday when you're watching film. I don't know how many times they go over that in practice, play everything in front of you, and he get bites on that underneath route.
So here is Olindo Mare with 29 seconds remaining, replacing John Casey, an original Panther here in Carolina this season. Casey down in New Orleans after 16 years with the Panthers. 31-yard attempt from the right hash to tie the game for Carolina. Kick by Mare from 31 yards out is no good. Wide to the left.
And it's just part of that progression. You know, you come down the field, some mistakes that force you in a position where you have to make the field goal to tie. It's a little bit of a high snap. I mean, Olindo Mare knew he missed it as soon as he hit it.
Wow.
So the Carolina Panthers, who got the ball back with 2:43 remaining, drive downfield, but cannot score. And the Minnesota Vikings will win for the second time this season as Ponder takes a knee. Great job by our entire crew. Producer Barry Landis, director Michael Frank, associate directors Jeremy Green and Chirag Devaskar, broadcast associate Joe Wheeler, our technical producer Marvin Kale, and the technical director Damon McGavock. So Christian Ponder, a winner for the first time as a starting quarterback in the National Football League. A heartbreaking loss for the Carolina Panthers despite 3 touchdown passes from Cam Newton. Teammates of the 85 Bears, Leslie Frazier and Ron Rivera. Vikings win it by 3. We will be back.